A good evening to everyone. My name is Kwenza Joshua Emmanuel, and I'm happy to be here. First of all, I want to welcome my viewers and also to welcome the new subscribers to this YouTube channel. It's really the best choice you've done to join me. We kind of share a number of issues. We discuss topics regarding religions, education, and so on. Very many topics. Feel free, feel at home. Today, I'm going to be teaching about church growth. We are going more of religion. I know all of us have been in churches, different churches, maybe mosques, and there is a difference from church A, church B, church C. It's all about church growth. When I talk of church growth, what comes to your mind first of all? What do you understand by church growth? I know it's a challenging question, but let's go about it together. I hope you have where to write. You'll be noting down those main points, eye catching, and so on. When we say church growth, basically we mean to bring people who didn't have personal relationship with Christ into fellowship with Christ. What do I mean when I say so? I mean as somebody wasn't in church, maybe was living like a pagan, but you tell him about Christ, you tell him about Jesus Christ, and he accepts and he comes to church, fellowship, have a relationship with Jesus Christ. That's the definition of it. We have a number of them. When we check out in Acts 2, verse 41 46, when you read it, you will see how the apostles and so on were doing it to bring people to the church into fellowship, and how the church grew, because they started as a small number, but it went on increasing. So then let's go and talk about the types of church growth. But before we go into the types, let's learn about the structures of the church. What is composed of the church? The church has got the mass, which is the body. When I talk of the mass, these are the people, the brethren who come in to fellowship. Then we have the skeleton, which are the leaders. And these are the people who guide the priests, the ushers, all the deaconesses, and so on. Those are the leaders in the church who guide the people and so on. So basically, that's what we call a church. A church is a composure of both the skeleton and the body, which is the mass and the leaders. And you may find out that for the church to grow, both these parts, the mass and the leaders, have to play an important role in their growth. But let's go straight to the types. The types, we have 4 of them. You may have more, but for me I have 4, and I'll be going through. Yeah, type 1, we have the internal growth. When I talk of the internal growth, I mean spiritual growth. And this comes about by when you're fed, when you listen to the proper word, which helps you to grow your spirit, your inner man to grow in a way which is great. Then the second part, we have the expansional growth. When I talk of the expansional growth, this means we are growing in numbers. It's by either increase, welcoming people from other areas who are not fellowship with you to come and join you and the fellowship with you. And as I will be explaining down, you'll get to know how it comes about. Then thirdly, we have the extensional growth. Oh yeah, this is where like you move, like if at all we have a church here, let me say in Mwakiso, we move from Mwakiso, we go to Bugolobi, we plant there another church. Then we move from Bugolobi, we go to Banda. When we move from Banda, move to Mukono, to Seta, to Gayaza, move to Entebbe, move to other parts of the world. Let me say specifically in your country, when you're creating more branches of churches, that's also expanding the church. It's you're extending the church. Sorry. Then the last part is called bridging growth. This is where we evangelize, we preach across borders. Like I'm in Uganda, I moved to Nigeria, I preached there. I moved to Ghana, I moved to the USA, I preached there, and also plant churches, other churches. We create our branches outside our countries and across borders. That's the bridge growth type of church growth. So basically, I was telling you about church growth, but still there are some other factors which bring about church growth. Basically, when we talk of the expansion, how does this come about? It's all about, we can mean biological. When, let me say, the brethren are in church, they can produce an increase on their numbers, and also that's also part of it. Then we have conversionists. When we go for evangelism and you preach down to people, you tell them about Christ, and they convert and they join you. That is also another way the church grows. Then we have transformation. Yeah, somebody may have been, let me say, is transformed, basically like be transformed to change from what you've been doing. Then you join the church. That's also part of how the church grows. Then we have the last part of it is restoration. Let me say, where somebody was in church before, he was communing, fellowshipping with the church, but at one point he backslid and went off. And you may find some people, when they follow some people, they feel the guilty, they get shy, they don't want to come back. But when they come back, it also helps to grow the church, to increase on the number of people in the church. Then, as we proceed, hope you understand me. And if at all you're having any question, please feel free to write in the comment section, and we shall be following. So then we have, I said, like our key points were like to study the definition, the types, and the importance of church growth. Uh, I may not have much a number of points about the importance of church growth, but I want to highlight and I want to connect these importances onto the structure of the church. For example, the mass, these are the people who come to pray in the church. So when they come, it gives glory to God. They praise and worship God and they honor Him. It's one of the importance. Without them, you cannot honor God. Because the leader, if he's alone in the church, yes, the glory, like let me say, the praises will be for one person, but when you're many, there are many. Then the second part, they help, like the mass or the people help to build the church because they come in, they finance the programs of the church, they finance the movements, revival, and so on, and every other part of aspect. They bring in a lot. Then for the leaders, how they bring about growth in the church, that the instrumental people here, the actors, the directors, let me say, the direct the people, the mass, and once the leaders who are leading you, okay, people will be fine and okay to come and join you. But when, if at all the leaders who are leading the church have issues, the numbers keep on reducing. And the other thing also, the help to guide the mass and to God and to doing God's will. So it also play a part, and also in evangelism and so on. So as I've told you today, we're learning about church growth. I think for today, that's enough. But before I go, I want also to challenge you. What have you picked from what we've been discussing? What are many points? Feel free to comment. Feel free to share what your ideas are. And I think by the next episode, we shall be coming back and we shall add